Alright everyone, thanks for popping back to the channel. What's this a metaphor for, you know? Climbing the climbing wall. Wow, I sound like Steve Coogan when he plays Tony Wilson in 24-Hour Party People. I really do love climbing actually at the moment. I've got a climbing wall at my local gym and I climb pretty much every day now and I absolutely love it. Welcome to this week's TimesWithJames video. Let's go. And also, it's an interesting way to start a video. So, let's get on with it. Stories that never made it, and footage. Oh, got a little list here of things I want to say. A little list! See that? The old climbing wall there. Metaphor for what it was like going through 2019. You might be able to hear my voice. Literally, all I'm drinking at the moment is Lemsip. There's some stuff going around that no one wants at the moment, and I've got it. So this video today is going to be a little bit of a look back at 2019. It's going to be a little bit about what I'm going to do with this channel in 2020. So it's a bit bouncy on there. For example, on here, Bratislava return. I went to Edgbaston to watch the cricket. I also started making a film that I was going to put on TimesWithJames about my local cricket club. A week in the life of a cricket club. So I filmed a lot of that. It never ever made it onto this channel. And also a little bit of me walking the dog. Just some nice stuff of me walking the dog. Then we're going to have a chat about what I'm going to do with this channel in the future. Because I bought a tuk-tuk. Earlier this year, as you guys know, if you follow this channel, I went to Bratislava to make a film about post-communist history in that city and about Slovakia. Even though it's not 100% accurate about Slovakia because it's such a big country and Bratislava as a city is a bit of an anomaly within that country, especially economically. So I went back there to refilm some drone footage that I'd lost because I broke a drone card. But then one of the defining things of my year, 2019, happened. So we'd actually decided to stay in Vienna for this particular trip because I'd already spent a little bit of time in Bratislava already and it felt like a good idea at the same time to put the two cities into one because they're only an hour apart. Previously I've used the train to go between the two, but this time we decided to use the Twin City liner to go down on the Danube. It was a gorgeous day and depending on what your tastes are, it was absolutely wicked to look at the graffiti all the way along. I like the colour, the idea, the invention of what people put up there. It looks really, really cool. I was also a little bit of a kid and asked the captains whether I could sit in the front and have a little chat with them. So, how long have you guys been working on the river for then?
Sorry, I'm not allowed to give interviews
okay.
without the order from my boss.
It would have been really nice to have had the opportunity to interview these guys because let's face it, it's a really unusual job and that is part of the direction I'm going to be taking this channel going on in 2020. We crossed the border into Slovakia, just going past the old Devon Castle that I've not had a chance to visit yet, and before I knew it I was back on my feet in Bratislava. So it's kind of a weird thing to come back to a city that I never thought I'd probably go back to. So the most important footage that I needed to get back was footage of the car that we travelled around in called Belush. But unfortunately there was a problem. And there's a slight complication because Belush has failed its MOT. So now we are going to go around in a different car. So see it like this. See the shots that we filmed today as, well, we're going to just imagine that those shots somehow contribute to the other film that I'm going to make about Bratislava and the communism that was here back in the day with Peter. And it's also going to be nice to see Peter again. And Emily's never met him, have you, Em?
No, I haven't.
He's a very nice man, very touchy-feely. No, he's a really, really good old boy. So hopefully we're meeting up with him at 4 o'clock. So we're going to go and find somewhere for a quick beer. And also I'm going to get the drone shots that I needed, that I'd lost, that I hadn't filmed with Peter last time I was here. Whilst I was in Bratislava filming these shots, I did get some bad news. We had a phone call while we were there to tell us, God, this is going to be hard to say, that basically a mate that I'd grown up with for years, since I was like 11, I think, pretty much. And I hadn't seen him in probably since my wedding day, actually. And it wasn't one of those things where we fell out or anything like that. We just sort of went from day to day to day to day to day and didn't see each other, just stopped seeing each other that much. Basically, I got a phone call while I was in Bratislava to tell me that he'd fallen down in his living room and he'd had a brain aneurysm. That they were switching his life support machine off at 10:30, so 11:30 Bratislava time that day. And that news comes through. For a little while, I said to Emily, I was like, right, Em, what are we going to do then? I know that there's this really nice beer bar up the way on the Danube, this lovely big Bratislavan bar that serves lovely dark beer. Tell you what, when we know that it's happening back in the UK, when we know they're turning off his machine, we'll sit and have a beer. So we're sort of with him. And it got to the time, and I said to Em, I was like, look, I'm just going to go and get some drone footage. This is the sort of thing she's used to, travelling with me. Oh, and I walked off that boat and it honestly it hit me. I haven't seen this guy in ages, but he's just he's a big part of my life when it came to growing up, the music that I did. He was an absolute complete piss taker, an absolute knob sometimes. Sitting there in Bratislava, knowing that that was happening right then to one of my friends. 37, had 2 young kids, gone like that. And that changed the whole feel of 2019. 2019 was doing that. Then that happened and it went like that a little bit. And this is the drone footage that I got. I've always thought of the guy in his little boat at exactly the time that everything was going on back in England as being like a bit like him. I was kind of capturing that last journey he was going on. Also, I was kind of amused by it because I knew that's exactly the sort of thing that I would have been taking the piss out of for by my mate. But you know, he was a piss-taking wanker, so it's to be expected. And in the long run, every cloud has a silver lining, and it did mean that I met up with loads of mates I hadn't seen in ages, and we've all made a vow never to sort of lose contact with each other again. So that's going to be his legacy. Anyway, cocktails. So what are your thoughts on Bratislava, Pummels?
It's nice, it's chilled out.
Compared to Vienna?
It's different. It's different. I haven't seen enough of Bratislava really to make judgment at the moment.
Okay. So we're just waiting to meet Peter at the moment, having a quick Hugo Spritz before we do, which is always the way to do things. And then I'm going to reshoot the drone footage from the War Memorial and also the abandoned tyre factory. Fun. Those of you who'd watched the Bratislava video that I'd made about communism would have met Peter already. I'd already texted him that day to arrange to meet him, and he didn't really want any money for doing all this. Obviously, I wasn't going to let that happen because he was allowing us to use yet another car to re-get all our drone footage. I just think he liked driving us around with the drone and having a quick drink with us. Look at this beast! So look, we got a new one. Oh, mate.
You're going to make a new video, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, we've got to add the footage to the other video. So this is when Peter took us to a few places that we hadn't visited when we came to Bratislava in April to make our original film. The first being the Matador tyre factory. I didn't think he was going to take us into a massive chimney, and I felt like I was doing like urban exploration with him, but it was pretty cool. Film it. So cool. Hold down the trigger and point it up.
Look at the top of this really cool place. There are some dead pigeons too, and mostly pigeon shit.
Gonna go up there. Peter, where have you taken us?
Hi man, Hi James, we are inside the chimney of the former Matador factory, the tire factory. Really cool stuff now, just full of dead pigeon and pigeon shit. It's quite scary place. It's not a surprise we are the only people here. Maybe in last several months.
Druggies? Maybe druggies?
Maybe.
Scareheads?
Hard to say. In the chimney of Matador factory.
Those stairs go all the way up inside the chimney.
As far as I know, I have never tried it, of course.
This is kind of mad. So I tried to fly the drone inside the chimney to get the shot, but it just wouldn't do it because the proximity sensors, even when I turned them off, seemed to know that it was in a big tube. But this is when I got the shots from outside of the chimney that we used in the video about Bratislava a couple of months ago. The punishment labour of opponents of the regime. You can clearly see the cranes pulling down the old factory, and also soon they'll be pulling down this chimney, which is the tallest structure in Bratislava. Having left the Matador factory, we popped around to a few different places in Bratislava, and Peter explained some of the history to Emily. This all made me remember when I was looking through the footage just yesterday that we'd interviewed Peter about why he runs this tour, what it's like to run the tour, and what it's like to run an old fleet of cars that used to belong to his granddad. So Peter, how did you get into this, doing tours? What was the idea behind getting the car? And also, what's like the history of your love of history as well?
Yeah, that was the mixture of various ideas, I would say, because first I did my guiding course in 2005, and I guided people mostly in the old town and like more touristy areas.
Was that walking guides or?
Yeah, mostly walking tours. Sometimes I went with a regular car out of the city to the touristy castle of Redstone, but it was like tours like all other tour operators were doing. So we decided with my brother, let's offer people something different, because to do it more personally somehow, not only historical info, although I like history of course, but I like mixing like historical info with the personal story to the tour. We can call it like off the beaten track places, although Slavin is a little bit touristy.
So you had Belush in your family because it was your...
From the origin?
Yeah.
First, 2010 we bought a minivan, Volkswagen Caravelle, as we wanted to guide smaller groups of youngsters from hostels, like up to 7 people, so we bought this minivan. The Skoda was still not in use. I mean, our grandfather stopped using it, so it was closed in the garage for some 2 years, and then our father wanted to take it to the wreck place because you might get scrappage money for a new car. But I told as a joke to my father, we want to take foreigners on this car. Are you joking with this old crap? Then we tried it, and it's working well.
So for a start, how long have you been doing this with the cars?
We started in 2010, we can say, but with this car 2011.
Is business good?
The business is going well, so now we have some 8 Skoda cars. 4 of us live from the tours. But not only this tour, we make also tours out of the city. I did interview Peter for a good half an hour, and there was loads of really cool stuff that we spoke about, but for this video I think we're going to leave it all out and just end it with a nice little handshake. Peter, thanks ever so much for having us back in Bratislava, and hopefully I'll see you this spring. Maisa. Maisa, take care.
Oh, Maisa, okay.
Maisa.
That was the end of our trip to Bratislava and also Vienna. We did loads more stuff in Vienna, but I just didn't film it. So let's go on now to a sport that's close to my heart. So we're currently at Edgbaston at the cricket. The first day of the 2019 Ashes series, just after when England won the World Cup.
And it's Archer to Guptill, 2 to win. Guptill's going to push for 2. They've got to go. It's got to throw. It's got to go to the keeper's end. He's got it. England have won the World Cup by the barest of margins.
Here with my mate Noddy, as you probably recognise from the Chernobyl video, and also from the Bratislava video, and also here with my mate Greg, who's skiving off work today. So we're in the Eric Holly stand, which is a well-known stand at Edgbaston, which is a ground in Birmingham. It is like the hub of the Barmy Army. So obviously a long-standing history between England and Australia when it comes to Ashes cricket. A lot of you probably would have remembered the 2005 Ashes. So yeah, it should be good. You have a right laugh. It's going to be wicked. Honestly, there's nothing like the first day at a test match, the first morning, the build-up, and especially the first day of a whole series, a whole summer of cricket coming up. The singing of the national anthem. God save the Queen. And then the build-up of that first ball, that first delivery for the first day of the biggest sporting occasion in the country for us.
And to bowl the opening over of the Specsavers Ashes Test Series to the Birmingham end for England, Jimmy Anderson.
Hey! Good, Jimmy! The crowds at cricket matches are always really fun. It's nothing like a football match. And that's actually reflected in the fact that you're still allowed to drink in the stands because the audience, the people who go along, aren't complete dickheads. Come on, Jimmy! Ah, and what a perfect start for the Test match cricket fan purist. A leave. For me and many others, Test cricket is the absolute pinnacle of that sport. If you've never been to a day at the cricket, then expect loads of fun, expect polite spectators, expect people actually scoring the match and bringing books along to do it, but most of all, expect a spectacle. It's not just about watching every ball and getting grumpy that they've done another leave. Test cricket is all about grinding out a win. It's about the anticipation when you walk to the ground at the start of the day. It's about the umpires walking out into the middle. It's not about the quick satisfaction and the void that's left after it. It's all about the build-up to the win, grinding down your opposition and showing that over 5 days you are the better team. Just check out this build-up here and the buzz in the crowd, the knowledge of the crowd. With Rory Burns on 99 not out, would he get his first ever Test 100? The crowd's really worried he's going to get out. You know, if he gets out now that close to 100, he's going to be absolutely gutted. So everyone's behind him, it's a home crowd, everyone's desperate for him just to knock the ball into the gap for a single and get to this massive milestone in his career and something he's dreamt about all his life. Like that? Yeah! Oh, I cannot recommend a day at a Test match highly enough. Honestly, if you don't even care about cricket, if you've got a Test ground near you and you can get tickets on the cheap for maybe the 4th or 5th day of a Test match, just get them. If you've got kids, take them along. They'll absolutely love it. It's the best way to spend time in the summer, believe me. Just before we leave the cricket now, check out this bit of footage that I got. Just look at the reaction of the crowd. Hot spot when he's Snicko.
Go on!
Yeah! Okay, I know a lot of you don't like cricket. Cricket's a difficult, inaccessible sport to get to know. And you probably just looked at that bit of footage there and thought, what the hell has just happened? But at the end of the day, when everyone's left and security are clearing up, when you've been to your first Test day, you'll definitely want to go again. Let's have a look at grassroots cricket. So the footage you're seeing now is B-roll footage that I was doing as part of the development for this idea where I was going to make a mini documentary about the week in the life of a cricket club. So I went down to the cricket club, started getting all these lovely shots of the ground right at the start of the week. This is like on a Monday, and I was going to wait for all the guys to turn up and start working on the ground and interviewing them and filming them and everything. But I'd totally forgotten that there wasn't a game that week, and I'd only slotted that week to do the filming. It's really stupid because I know when they play, because this is a club that on and off I actually play for. But I thought rather than just clearing out the footage bin, it'd be nice for me just to show you some of the footage of these guys playing in a midweek Wednesday match. Otherwise I'd just be deleting this footage and it'd be gone forever. So let's have a quick look at that. Then we'll take the dog out for a quick walk. So just like in every standard of cricket, all the way up from youth cricket to test match cricket that we saw a minute ago, the two captains will go out onto the wicket and toss a coin. The captain that wins that coin toss will then have the choice whether to bat or bowl. Most of the team will be looking now for some sort of indication as to what's happening. And there it is, the captain for my team on the right hand side indicated with his fingers there that we're going to have a bowl. Without going into it too far, both teams have 11 players in them. The batting team will have 11 batsmen that they can use, and they hope to not use all of them. And the bowling team will usually have 4 bowlers that they're going to use, a couple of seamers, which is what you're watching being bowled now, and then a spinner or 2 as well. It's very rare that you're going to get all 11 players in the team bowling, because the personnel in cricket teams are kind of divided up into 3 areas: batsmen, bowlers and all-rounders. All-rounders can do a little bit of both. Anyway, this is not going to be a cricket lesson. If you want me to do a video about the week in the life of the cricket club, including the lovely drinking culture that goes with it, then comment below. I'd quite happily get involved with that next year. Dog walk time. God, this is such a random video, isn't it? Hey, here he is. Right, so just taking Jack out for a walk. Mum and Dad have gone away. I don't know where, I can't remember where. I'm going to take the camera out. I've got the camera. I want to get some stills of Jack. Jack's a very photographic dog, and also he's well trained, so he stays where he's supposed to stay. What I want to do, stay there, Jack. So I have to be stern with dogs. I've got this nice long road here. I want to get a shot of Jack sat in the middle of this road if I can. But there's obvious risks with that. Let's see how it goes. So look, all I've got is just my Canon with a little Sigma lens on there. Come here. Come here, come here. Jack, stay. Come here, just come there. Sit, stay. Stay. So now we've got him where I want him. Stay. I took quite a few photos of Jack here, and this is my favourite one from this particular place. Stay. Well done. Good boy. There we go, got the shots I wanted. He's so good to take photos of because he just does what he's told. Beautiful dog. So the great thing about, I kind of love autumn quite a lot. I like autumn from a photography perspective. Unfortunately this morning isn't really brilliant enough, there's no sun out, and I've only got Jack for a day or 2. And I wanted to take a picture of Jack sat, unfortunately for Jack, on the riverbed, which means he's going to get quite cold bollocks. If you've got the beautiful autumn coloured leaves and everything with the sun on them, you can get a really vibrant, beautiful colour. Oh well, unfortunately we haven't got that this morning. So we're going to go around to where we go anyway. Jack loves it through here. He loves all this bit because it's all, you should see his little face. He's just like, oh my god, I love it. So what we're going to do, we're getting around to the bit now where I think I can get this shot. So anyway, here we are. This is where I've done some shoots here before. Just got to watch it when you go down here. It's always really, it's easy for him. And get a beautiful shot of Jack looking down there. And I often come down here in the summertime because you can get, in the morning you get beautiful mist and the sun is shining through this mist onto the sort of leaf dappled river that we've got here. Jack always comes down here. Jack absolutely loves it here. This is like one of his favourite places. So what I'll do, I think, you know what, I do think we might be able to get something worth using here. Don't fall over, Jim. Hey. I always clutch the camera in my hands just a little bit tighter when I'm walking over the river, especially when Jack's hurtling about. As soon as he gets the idea you're going that way, it's like he's going that way now. Jack, he changes direction quickly. Stay. Sit. Don't sit if you don't want to. This is what I see in the viewfinder. Look at him. Isn't he a beautiful dog? Stay, 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 stay. Stay, stay, stay. Jack. So I'd like to think that I got some lovely snaps there of Jack, but you know, comment below any improvements I could do with my photography, and also let me know which one you liked, the first, second or third shot. You notice he never sat down. That dog does not want cold balls. Come here, hey. Hey! Man, that Sigma lens looks absolutely beautiful with that really fast f1.4 on it. It's bloody quick. Anyway, I carried on taking Jack for a walk, but I want to tell you now about what I want to add to Times with James in the future alongside these vlogs. So this idea has been in development for quite a long time, and the idea is that I've bought a tuk-tuk, I've rigged it up with GoPros. In fact, I think there's 4 cameras on the tuk-tuk altogether, and I think once I've got everything sorted out there's going to be 5. And what I want to do is give random members of the public lifts around my local town, but I also want to organise for proper interviews with people who have unusual jobs or have a life story or something interesting that I'd like to share with you. I want to use the tuk-tuk as a way to break down barriers between me as an interviewer, because it's a common thing for us to talk about while we're in it, but also we can go to some cool places and stop off for lunch somewhere and continue our interviews from there. So that's the plan. But I am going to need your help as well. It's a bit bouncy on there at the moment, isn't it? I've got to get the guts together to actually go and do this first, which I think is going to be hard work, because turning up in one of those and trying to get someone in there and then trying to speak to them about stuff whilst driving, whilst giving them a lift, having the balls to just do that is the main problem. The fact you have to have the balls to do it. And at the moment I haven't really managed to be able to work up the balls, basically. But when I do work up, what I want to do is I want you guys to actually help me ask the questions. Say for instance, I'm going to say, look, I'm going to try and pick up an old lady or an old man, or I'm going to try and pick up some people, 3 professions maybe, see if we can go to the local hospital and pick people up from there. And we're going to do that over the next few weeks. Can you write in the comment section below questions you'd ask people? And even if they're not in a specific category, even if they don't, you know, if they're just, you might not even know, and I'm not going to know who the hell I'm picking up. So why don't you comment below now, what questions would you ask people, or what questions would you like to hear asked when someone gets picked up on one of these tuk-tuks? That's it. I just need your help. I want you guys to come along for this ride. Literally. So look, there's loads of stuff I'm going to be doing. There is loads. One thing that I didn't film that happened a few days ago that I was really proud about. I only filmed it on my phone. I took Emily up for the first time and my mate Dane for the first time since I've passed my private pilot's licence. It's the first time I've gone up as pilot in command, hired the plane, gone up and done it all. And it was a really, really proud moment for me. It was cool as well. I sort of let Dane take the controls of the plane a bit. And just see his little cherubic face. He was honestly like a kid at Christmas in control of an aircraft for the first time in his life. So that was really cool. And that, to be honest, I did that the day before yesterday. That's how I finished 2019 off, on that high. It was absolutely quality. So here's to 2020, let's get on with it. I don't know when this video is going to go out because I'm hanging out of my arse at the moment, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to edit this. But hopefully it's in the first 2 weeks of January. This is going to be the shittest video I've ever made. Ugh. Have a great 2020, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Contact your mates. See you soon. Right, let's get editing. You know, like, this is where I do my voiceovers. This always gets rubbed by the cat. George? George? Yeah, I know, you're happy about this, aren't you? You're such a sausage. You're such a beast. Yes, I am a beast. If I hear the scrapping at the door, I know that I'm about to be joined by the animal, as I call him, or Tab, or G, or Wablet. or George Munchatson's chickens as well. He's got a lot of different names, haven't you, old Munchatson's? Yes, got lots of names. But they just get in the way of editing. Like, mate, you're just sat right in the way where I want to work. Oh, man. But I do love him. Look at his little face. Come here. Oi, oi, come here. Oi.